Why does he already have 13 books sitting here in the cart?
I mean, I can't say anything. I keep stuff in my cart too for next payday. You don't do that?
It's 13 books. He don't need no more.
Well, I mean,
$200.
Yeah. I mean, you spend on figures and Lego sets, and he spends on books. So it all evens out, right?
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does. You just don't value his investment like you value yours.
I play with my Lego sets. He reads his book once and that's it.
You do not. You build your Lego sets and then you put them on a shelf.
No, it's playing with them.
When? I've never seen you play with your Legos.
I do it in the privacy of my own home.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of From Art to Atoms,
The Ultimate Curiosity Show.
I'm Brandon Shoemaker.
I'm Michael Foles.
And this week is a special episode because we are going to be dropping this episode on Thursday, November 28th, which means...
It's Thanksgiving Day.
Yay.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Hopefully you're listening to this while enjoying your food coma after a big meal of turkey and dressing and what other fixins you make to go along with it.
Because I know we will not be recording this on Thanksgiving Day because we will be in our food coma.
Exactly. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe Kenzie and Daniel like to listen to us when they go to bed. So maybe we'll help put some people to sleep in their...
Is that really a compliment though there?
I don't know. Hey, at least they listen. That's what's important.
I guess. The Burns family.
So yeah, what we wanted to do today was just kind of talk about Thanksgiving in general and share with you some of our old family traditions. And I don't know, what do you think? Should we maybe even like on Instagram, like share a recipe or something for one of the dishes that we talk about?
I don't know how to make recipes, like from a recipe, like, cause we just make it.
Well, you write it down. That's how.
Sure. We will do that.
Okay, fine.
We will do that.
Mr. Pro Chef who can't be bothered to write down a recipe.
No, I'm just not wanting to share my family secrets.
I didn't say it had to be your speciality or anything like that.
Okay.
All right, just a thought. Maybe you'll see some
of Brandon's family South Carolinian recipes.
North Carolinian, really.
Well, Carolinas.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, what were some of your Thanksgiving traditions growing up?
Are we starting there or do we want to talk about the history of Thanksgiving?
Okay, we can talk about the history of Thanksgiving.
Well, Americans, the white people came in and killed all the Indians.
Well, no, but before that, they had to work with the Indians and
for 2 weeks, and then they killed all the Indians. They're like, make us our food, teach us how to make food, and then now we're going to kill you.
No, that's not what happened.
Okay.
I mean, it eventually happened, but not in
See,
that
so then
way.
it happened. Is that before or after Pocahontas hooked up with John Smith?
Oh my God, that's not what happened.
That is what happened.
No, John Smith was like in his 60s and Pocahontas was like 13.
Because that's never happened before.
But...
Okay, I have the autobiography of Pocahontas I had to read for a college class. I will reread it again. It's a very short book, and I will let you know.
Okay, but she doesn't hook up with John Smith.
Okay.
So, most of us know the traditional origin of Thanksgiving being the 1621 three-day feast between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag tribe. Hoping I'm saying that correctly. But in actuality, what that was actually a fairly common practice for the English, especially the Puritans, to do a big celebratory feast of Thanksgiving for a variety of reasons. They would do it for an abundant harvest, as was that after a long year of struggle. But they would also have feasts of Thanksgiving after a major military victory, after safe passage from a treacherous traveling situation or something like that. So they did this sort of feast, not specifically after a harvest in that time of year, but they did it, anytime there was something that they felt they needed to celebrate and give thanks to God for. So, that was in the nature of the Pilgrims to do this sort of thing whenever there was something to be especially thankful for. But the tradition that led us to celebrating Thanksgiving as a national holiday on the fourth Thursday of November originated from that, but then it developed over the years. Insert fun fact here, the first Thanksgiving probably didn't even include turkey. It most likely included fowls such as geese and ducks because they were much more abundant and easier to hunt.
Native to that area? Because I don't know if turkeys are even in the area.
They were.
East Coast.
Yeah, they were. But, well, in fact, because Benjamin Franklin wanted the national bird to be the wild turkey originally. So, yeah, could you imagine, Thanksgiving saying, hey, pass me a slice of bald eagle?
No.
Yeah. So, but the turkey, yeah, it was in New England. I'm assuming it probably still is, but not as easy and plentiful as geese and ducks were. And so that is probably the bird of feast that was at that first Thanksgiving table, along with deer, corn, shellfish. They also celebrated with dancing, which was typically a no-no for the Pilgrims, or for the Puritans. But I guess when you're doing it in thanks, it's okay. Singing and dancing, and then even ball games. So I guess we've always had a little bit of football on Thanksgiving after our feast. And then from there, it became sort of left up to the states. Once we had states, that is, flashing forward 150 years or so.
Yeah.
But official Thanksgiving celebrations were left up to the states because it went back to the whole North versus South issue. Southerners weren't too keen on doing this Yankee celebration that originated in New England. And so a lot of Southern states didn't celebrate it as an actual state holiday, but other states did. And then, of course, as most things North versus South ended with President Lincoln, who in 1863, Lincoln proclaimed a national day of Thanksgiving to be celebrated on Thursday, November 26th. Now, the interesting thing about that, though, and every president after Lincoln subsequently proclaimed this national day of Thanksgiving. So it wasn't like an official holiday that was going to happen no matter what. It was up to the president to actually declare it so. And it wasn't fixed as the fourth Thursday in November either, which came into play in the FDR administration.
Is that what, like the New Deal kind of thing?
Well, so of course, he's worried about the economy and making sure that it's working well. So it's always been that the day after Thanksgiving has been a Black Friday for the nation. And so trying to, help extend the Christmas shopping season, FDR one year decided to have Thanksgiving on the third Thursday in November. And apparently people didn't like that very much. They liked it being on the fourth Thursday. And so after that, Congress officially fixed the date as the fourth Thursday in November in 1941. And so now we have that standing tradition through to today.
Kind of odd that he would extend Thanksgiving for the economy when now we are recording this the week after the week after Halloween, and Christmas stuff is up. Now,
Yeah. So
in full force now. A couple of weeks ago, it was not at full force unless you went to specialty stores. Like, Hobby Lobby had Christmas galore
since like
a
August
month ago. Yeah. 2 months ago. But like, we went to Target today and everything is up now. So
yeah, and that's I'm hoping will be a topic for another episode later on. But that's something that's always kind of bothered me, is how the Christmas buying season specifically keeps getting earlier and earlier.
I don't know if it doesn't bother me so much, because it really starts it's like dropping seeds for plants that are going to come in 6 weeks. When you're walking through the store and you have the Christmas stuff out and everything, you start kind of getting a little excited.
Yeah, we'll leave that for the other episode closer to Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I think we need to do a debate topic of Christmas decorating.
That's true. Yeah, so that's kind of the general history of Thanksgiving and how it developed through the history of the U.S. and how it came to be, when it is, at least now.
So I want to say, so these are not going to be our family traditions just yet. We're going to get into that in a second.
Okay.
But let's just kind of go through a couple of things that are
general
traditionally
tradition.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know one that's always been funny to me is the pardoning of the Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, and the actual pardon didn't start until Truman. Like the official pardoning didn't start until Truman.
Uh-huh.
But Abe Lincoln actually pardoned a turkey because his son Tad begged his father, do not kill this turkey.
Oh.
And the turkey was supposed to be Christmas dinner.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where it happened there. But
so that's where it really started.
Yeah. But
okay, well, that's cute. That makes it. I've always thought it was a weird tradition to do. So I think that's
officially, and this is what I found interesting. Officially, it's relatively a new tradition in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
Like it didn't become official presidential pardoning until first Bush.
Oh, okay.
So it Truman did it. Kennedy did it. He spared one.
Yeah.
Nixon did it a year before. He actually got his own pardon, which in itself is funny. That's funny in itself. But, it's very strange to me that seems like so American tradition, but it's only been around since, like I said, it formally became a tradition for presidents to pardon the turkeys with George H.W. Bush.
Well, and I think that's an interesting thing to talk about, too, is the fact that, how long does it take to make a tradition stick? I think, it could be a relatively short period.
I mean, even 10 years, We have some stuff on school campus that have been around for years and then have been around for 5 years, and the kids, I guess, with generation. Yeah, that's a big thing. And in a school, generation is, freshman class to senior class at 4 years, every generation, I guess. That's how we can look at a school.
Right.
But, you could start a tradition 1 year and then by 4 years, it becomes, something we've always done.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, and perfect example like that, so I've always, ever since I've been directing theater, I've always had some sort of like a tradition of doing dinner either before a show. When I first started, when it was me and Amanda, we would always go to dinner before our opening night. Mm-hmm. And kind of like do a sort of mental detox before we all got started with the show. And then at my previous school, we would typically go out to dinner after the closing show, mm-hmm. the final show. But last year, I think it was with our very first show. It just kind of happened after opening night. Kenzie had the idea, let's go to dinner. And she was bringing Daniel, who she was just dating at the time. And we said, well, let's invite Mr. Hannah too. And so all four of us went to dinner. And by the second episode, of all people, it was actually Daniel who said, okay, are we going to do dinner after opening night, our new tradition?
Yeah.
And so that was actually how that formed to become a tradition for us, was through that. So, and that was, just a matter of months for that to become a tradition. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's interesting how people, will sometimes like that sort of almost intentionally create a tradition.
Yep.
And it works and it sticks. So I think I think traditions are special for that reason, because there's something that, helps to unify us.
So and again, we're kind of steering back to traditions, but I don't want to go there just yet, because there's other stuff that we kind of do that happens during Thanksgiving. What is one thing that you can think of?
The Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah. The official signaling of the holiday season, I guess,
Well, because they end the parade with Santa.
The arrival of Santa, right. Have you ever seen the parade in person?
No.
Because I know that you've been in New York several times. I just didn't know if you've been up there.
No, I've been to New York during the holidays once, and it is beautiful. I mean, I highly recommend it. It's something that everybody should see at some point, I think. But no, I've never been there for Thanksgiving, and I've never seen
the parade.
Yeah,
I know. My sister brought my nephew up there. Madeline brought Teddy one time up there for that.
Now, oddly enough, I've known several people who have actually marched in the parade, though.
Yeah.
From this school, from here as well as from back home, because, the bands that march are, mostly high school bands. And was it last year or the year before last that they had the directors?
It was last year,
band.
I think. That's when Vincent went up there.
Yeah, Vincent went up there, and he marched with some band directors that I knew from South Carolina as well. So that was pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, I think that was last year, I believe.
Yeah.
So I guess at this point, Thanksgiving typically is colder weather.
Yeah. Well, for us in the South, not always.
We're hoping it is.
Yeah.
But I remember just in the 80s, growing up with my grandmother was always the central patriarch of the family who would always cook. And that's where we had most of our holiday meals.
Right.
And so everyone would always go over there. And so that feeling, but because she was always so thin-blooded, she always had that heater going. And so I remember like her cooking and a lot of warmth and a lot of smells. And, that reminds me a lot of that. And I guess maybe that's why, like I was saying about the holiday season starts getting there.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that time. She's been dead. Like we were talking earlier, she would have been dead 20 years here in the next 2 weeks. So on the 15th of November, it would have been 20 years. So it's been a while that I've had that from my grandmother. And the family really got together. And after that, the family separated. She was really the glue that kind of held everybody together. And then after that, we all holidays weren't, I guess, the same anymore. So I don't know.
So it's interesting for me because, I was an only child, and Thanksgiving for some reason with our family was for the majority of my childhood that I recall, Thanksgiving was a holiday that we just celebrated with our nuclear families. Like most of our Thanksgivings, it was just me, my mom, and my dad. Mm-hmm. And, we would go all out. Nevertheless, we would cook a turkey. We weren't that big on dressing. I didn't get into dressing until I was a little bit older.
You naughty, naughty, dirty boy.
Table
Brandon.
dressing,
Okay, I was going to say, because Brandon's over here saying he didn't get dressed. He didn't get into dress. I'm like, what? Did you walk around naked till you were like, what, 14? No. Anyway,
dressing, aka stuffing, but we never stuffed it. We weren't stuffers or anything like that.
You just made like dressing on the side.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's another thing is like how many people actually do stuff a bird still. I think that's more of a northern
I
tradition.
think so. Yeah.
Because in the South we do our cornbread dressing, our rice dressing. Did y'all have rice dressing? Because we did rice dressing also.
Rice dressing? I don't know that I've ever had rice dressing. What is that? I'm very intrigued and want some now.
I don't know how to cook it, but I just know how to eat it.
Okay, well, we're going to have to find a recipe and try that out because that sounds delicious. No, ours was, well, and a lot of people in my family would make cornbread dressing, and I would have it or they would serve it at Christmas and things like that. I didn't care for the cornbread dressing. The way I make it and the way my Aunt Vicky makes it, and when we finally did start making it at home, it was with breadcrumbs.
Instead of cornbread.
And so, yeah. Okay. And so, because I've never been a big cornbread fan, I don't eat cornbread. I'll eat hush puppies because, anything's better when it's fried. But the dressing made with breadcrumbs or even dried breadcrumbs was and still is my favorite.
And see, so I'll tell you that I wasn't a fan of cornbread dressing growing up either. It kind of grew on me over time.
Yeah.
But I remember having that for the first time. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Because my dad's family comes from country Mississippi.
Right.
They're not from New Orleans. And so a lot of my paternal grandmother's recipes and family recipes are like black-eyed peas or field peas and, that cornbread dressing and cornbread and stuff. So a lot of that was that. I remember hating that stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. I don't care for much of that either, and we would always have the cranberry sauce fresh out the can.
Oh, it's got to have the rivets on the side.
The indentations from the can, everything, tradition. And then you just slice it.
Well, that's tradition. For us, that's one of our traditions.
Although, now, I still love that stuff. I really do. I love it. But now, I really love to make, and I know you hate it, but I really love to make cranberry salad, which is a Jell-O salad.
Yeah.
Which Michael doesn't like Jell-O salads in general.
Well, I'm not a fan of having the actual cranberry. It's not seeds, I guess, but the actual cranberries in my cranberry sauce.
Oh, I love them. They're so nice and tart.
I know, but there's something about, I think, the texture on that. I think it might be the chewiness of it.
I like the crispness of a cranberry. Because I'll eat cranberries just by themselves because I love sour and tart stuff anyway.
Yeah, not.
But so it's and this might be the recipe that I share. It's not my recipe. It's not even one of Vicky's recipes. This was our family friend Blondie, her mother-in-law had this recipe. So who knows where it originated from? It might have originated from a Southern Living magazine. At some point, but it's black cherry Jell-O with chopped pecans. And yes, I know I say pecans weird too.
That's it right there. That's what I don't like about it.
You don't like the pecans?
I don't like, the pecans in that.
Oh, see, that gives it that nice buttery flavor. Oh, I love them.
Oh,
the first time I ever had it, I was like, is there like butter in this or something? But it was the pecans that give it that flavor.
That's what it was. I remember you made that last Thanksgiving.
I make it every Thanksgiving.
And we told you not to make a lot of that because we're not going to eat it. And you come over with a big pan of it. And I'm like, well, I guess he's taking all this back home with him.
The recipe makes a 9x13 dish. And you know what? I will eat all of it. So I will never complain.
Yeah, we did.
About y'all not liking it.
I remember that. That's what you made last year. We were like, oof.
Yep, because it just means more for me. But no, that's the thing. Like, I have certain dishes, like for the past couple of years, we've celebrated Thanksgiving together since I moved out here. There are specific dishes that I have to have.
You make
feel
on purpose. That's right.
Yeah, because that's what feels like Thanksgiving to me. And honestly, a couple of those dishes aren't even Thanksgiving specific. They're the sort of thing that my family would make just with Sunday dinner.
Right.
Two of the biggest ones for me are what Vicky has always called brown rice, which is not made with brown rice at all. It's just white rice, but then it turns
like dirty
brown
rice
after you cook it. No, it's not dirty rice. It's that kind that I made that Thomas likes. So it's just white rice, a can of French onion soup, and a can of beef broth, and mushrooms if you like them.
Mm-hmm.
And you just bake it for like 45 minutes.
Cook
or so.
the rice in the basically.
Exactly. But of course, the beef broth and the French onion soup turns it brown. So that's why we call it brown rice. But that's just, it's not at all brown rice or in any way healthy for you. So that's one of the things that I always have to have for Thanksgiving, even, you don't care for it as much, but Thomas loves it.
With the rice?
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, okay.
I don't associate that with Thanksgiving or special occasions because you could make that for dinner one night.
Exactly.
Like you just said, it's just something that you cooked on Sunday dinner.
Yeah. And the other thing that I like that's like that, but I'll always have to have it on Thanksgiving is pineapple casserole.
Okay. I will agree with that one. With the Ritz crackers on top.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So pineapple casserole. And again, that's just something that, Vicky will make on a Sunday, to go with Sunday dinner with beef tips or something.
This uber sweet though.
It is. Oh, love it. But somehow it's a side and not a dessert.
And we're okay with that too, because then we get to eat the dessert after. So
exactly.
It's like when you have a sweet potato casserole with like the brown sugar and the praline topping on top of it. You're like, that's the dessert right there.
Exactly.
Nope. You got to have a piece of pie with it later.
or sometimes pumpkin roll. And that's another thing. Sweet potato casserole is something that I didn't like sweet potatoes or I thought I didn't when I was little. But as an adult, I love sweet potatoes and sweet potato casserole especially.
Oh, good, because that's what we're having for dinner tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got a turkey. So, we went to Target today and they have and so it came about, we were just going in there to get just like some general stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so we passed by one of the end caps and they have like the stuffing on the end cap.
Yeah.
And then they have like the candied yams in the can on the end cap. I'm like, uh-oh. I said, let me go see if they have one of those frozen turkey breast, the Jenny-O frozen turkey breast. It takes like 2 hours to cook.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I said, okay, so we're getting stuffing, and went to Aldi and got a sweet potato casserole with praline topping on top of it that we're going to cook.
Yes. See, that's the kind of topping I like. I don't like the marshmallow topping.
Yeah, no, me neither. Me neither. And so I was like, and that's an easy dinner for us to make.
Surprisingly, but yes, it is.
Yeah, because it's just like that lady you say, you just set it and forget it.
Ron Popeil back in the day.
So we could just do that though, and that's an easy, like I said, that's enough to feed 4 or 5 people really. And it's, with the weather outside, I figured that's kind of a comfort food in a way,
Yeah, it is.
So, but yeah, we are having sweet potato casserole tonight for dinner.
Oh, awesome. I'm excited now. I was already excited just from turkey alone, but now.
This turkey is really good.
Yeah.
But so, in the past couple of years, though, we have tried to, and when I say we and Thomas have tried to stray away from traditional foods for holidays. So it happened a couple of years back. I was visiting my mom for Christmas, and she's like, what do you want to have? I'm going to go to the store. And I said, well, I really don't care. She goes, well, let's just get some steaks. And I was like, okay, like I don't have to have turkey for Thanksgiving. I can have a steak for Thanksgiving or for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so that kind of got my mind going, like, why do we have to have traditional foods when you really aren't going to eat all of it? You know, and if it's just me and him, or even just me, you and him, you know, since you moved down here, why are we cooking this big meal?
Yeah.
You know, and so one year, I think Thomas and I just forgave the turkey. And
you pardoned it?
Yeah, we did. And we just had like a sides Thanksgiving.
Well, that I was going to talk about that because you've never really been all that big on turkey anyway. It's always been about the sides for you.
I will fill my plate up with all the sides, and the turkey, you can have that.
Yeah.
And so that's me, like macaroni and cheese. Just give me that. Give me all the vegetables. Give me that stuff. And so I'd rather have that than the turkey, because the turkey is really what kind of knocks you out.
Yeah.
So we've been non-traditional, but you know, and like Brandon said, since he's moved down here, I think one year we had like lasagna or something, and he was like, well, I'm bringing over my Thanksgiving traditional stuff. And I'm like, okay, just know that we're having this with it. So,
and that's fine. And because I remember actually not for Thanksgiving, but Christmas one year, this was when I was living at the beach. And so when I did that, I would have to drive back home to Concord, the Charlotte area, to be home for Christmas. And we had, done lunch. This was on Christmas Day. And we had done lunch at my other aunt's house, and it was always a big to-do. And I didn't really eat a whole lot while I was there like I normally do. I just had enough. I didn't overeat that time. And when we got back to that was Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, that's what it was. Christmas Eve, we had been to my aunt's house. Christmas Day, this had to have been after at least Caroline, if not both Caroline and Emerson were born. But we went over to Emily and John's house and were there, and we had like light stuff for lunch. Mm-hmm. Because I think either Em and John were going to his mom's house, or she and the rest of his family were coming to their house. I can't remember. But anyway, so after that, we left and went back to Dennis and Vicky's, and it was just the three of us. And we were kind of starting to get a little peckish because we had just had a light lunch. And all three of us were in agreement. We were like, we're tired of like the turkey and dressing and stuff. Mm-hmm. We've had enough of that. And it was one of those Christmases in the South where, it was like in the 70s.
Yeah.
And so Vicky said, well, why don't we just have hamburgers and hot dogs? And so I remember my contribution was I had to go out and try to find hot dog buns or hamburger buns or both, I guess. And the only place that I could find open that actually had any was one Walgreens. And it was like the third place that I had to check. But yeah, she fired up the grill outside and we had hamburgers and hot dogs on Christmas night.
Yep. And I think that changes also as you get older and, people are moving away from home a lot. Yeah. And I think that was one of the reasons why we had started new traditions, is because we weren't at home anymore.
Right.
And, like I said, it was just the two of us. And so some of that stuff was just kind of like, well, do we really have to make a big deal out of it?
Right.
And so we were both in agreement that we didn't have to make a big deal out of it. So we really didn't. It just became something of a nicer meal.
Yeah.
And I will say a lot of people in the past 20 years or so have started going out to eat for Thanksgiving also.
Yeah.
And I see some benefit in that. I do.
Yeah. I've done it a few times. And
Thanksgiving is very stressful for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of families tend to pick up on aggressive behavior with each other through the stress of it all.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times it's easier just to kind of go out and eat, and a lot of restaurants are starting now to cater to that also.
Oh, yeah. And you can get like full meals to go that you just take home.
Right. And even those, like working in the French Quarter, we were open every single day.
Yeah.
We were open Christmas Day because you're in the French Quarter, tourists are down there.
Yeah.
And so we would have a Thanksgiving meal. Now the menu was cut down. You could only order the chosen Thanksgiving meal, but it was like a 5-course meal. It was like a salad. You had a full Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
And dessert. But that's all we served that day.
Yeah.
But there are some places that still do that. And I think there's benefit to that. There's less stress on the people involved.
Right.
That are eating. And I guess not the workers, but the biggest one for me is that you don't have to clean up. You just get to eat and go.
Exactly.
And so that's a great thing for us, because I'm one of those people, when I cook, I have to clean as I cook. Mm-hmm. I can't have a dirty kitchen while I'm cooking.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell Thomas to get out the kitchen, because he just throws, and you too, you're a messy cook.
I know. I'm the Swedish chef when I cook.
Yes. But so that, that has its benefits to it. And so a lot of people, like I said, have started going out to eat for dinner, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
Yeah, okay. So I think the reason why I am anti going out for Thanksgiving dinner is because the first few times that I ever did it, it was with Dad and Sister Woman. Mm-hmm. And yes, I'm going to say Sister Woman because I know she's never going to hear this. So
explain to everyone who she is.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. So Sister Woman is
his stepmom,
my dad's second wife. My mom died when I was 18, and he remarried about 3 or 4 years later. And we've never had the best relationship. And so,
really? I didn't think that since you called her Sister Woman. I wasn't sure that y'all were not friendly.
So Sister Woman is a name from Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. So if you want to dig into the real depth of why I call her Sister Woman, just watch Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. But anyway, so the first couple times that I did Thanksgiving eating out, it was with Dad and Sister Woman, and it kind of just felt like at the time
a betrayal.
Not a betrayal, but like, well, who cares? You know, it's just the three of us. When all the time when I was growing up, it was still just the three of us, but being Mom, my dad, and me. Mm-hmm. And we still did the whole thing, and we, you know, made the whole meal. So that was it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I've opened up a little bit to it since then, and there have been a couple of times. I think you and I, way back in the day, did Thanksgiving dinner out somewhere. I can't remember. This was when we were in Knoxville. Mm-hmm. You know, and that was fine because it was just the two of us, so it wouldn't have been worth it.
I remember too that one time that Art and I came to visit you when you were in Charlotte.
Oh, that's right. That was at Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
That was. But we were on the road at Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
we were in the cabin at Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, I had
a couple of days prior.
Right.
And I think, did we come in Thanksgiving Day? I think it was evening.
That evening,
because I remember we had to eat Thanksgiving at a travel station. We found somewhere in the mountains one of these travel stations that had like German food. So I remember I was eating like a cabbage roll.
Oh, wow.
I remember having that. And there was something else, but we were able to find a place and we ate.
Yeah.
In the travel trailer. Like we got it to go and then just hitched because we had the trailer with us.
Yeah.
And no, we didn't.
No, yeah,
we didn't.
You didn't bring the trailer.
Wait in the car to get over to you. I remember that was Thanksgiving Day. We were traveling that day. So
yeah. So yeah, no, because I'd had Thanksgiving with my family
prior us to getting there, right? But I think part of what you're saying though is that, you know, if your mom died when you were how old?
18.
And several years later was when Sean was in the picture with your dad.
Well, they started dating 6 months later.
Well, I'm saying that
since then, yeah.
You know, but that was a couple of years. You know, what you were just describing was a couple of years, I guess, when you ate out. As you get older, you know, as the kids get older, the traditions kind of fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really kind of what happened to our family. Like I said, my grandmother passed away, but at that time I was 20.
Right.
And, you know, it wasn't the same anymore until the next generation of kids came into the picture. Then it became what it once was again.
Right.
I guess the magic of that holiday had kind of, you know, disappeared as the disillusionment of it was gone.
Yeah. And that kind of happened with us too when my mom's, so not at Thanksgiving, but at Christmas, my mom's mom, Grandma Johnson, she would host Christmas night, I think it was. Mm-hmm. At her house, and we would so my mom was one of 3 children, and so all of my cousins and my aunt and my uncle and my aunt and uncle by marriage with them as well, we would all come together at my grandmother's house. And that was one that kind of, so after my grandmother died, she died when I was 8, we would still get together every year, the 3 families. It would just sort of the timing would change eventually over the years. It became the day after Christmas, and we did stuff like that. And then after my mom died, it started getting a little harder. But then, of course, the family had grown a lot too, because my Uncle Junior's family, his kids had kids, and so they had extended families and things like that. So part of the reason I think a lot of times these sort of traditions sort of start to decline is just because of logistics.
Yeah, people move away, people, you know, families grow, and now you're stuck with, you know, in-law families.
Yeah, because I mean, they still get together, but I haven't been able to make it to one of theirs in years now, because I'm never, if I'm home, I'm at Dennis and Vicky's, where, my time is very limited in terms of, like, especially now if I'm flying, because
yeah, you're not in town anymore just to drive.
Yeah, and it's a lot sometimes. So that logistical part of it, I think, really has a lot to do with why the traditions sort of start to fade.
Right. And that goes to us also, because we are 5.5 hours from my family.
Yeah.
And have been for several years now. So we have to pick and choose which holiday we want to spend our time in.
Right.
And as educators, we only have that 1 week off for Thanksgiving, whereas Christmas time, we have 2 weeks off. So for us, we have more time at Christmas to go visit family. So if we go to visit family, we usually do it at Christmas as opposed to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is just a really quick kind of debrief, and you just kind of get to chill out, do some stuff around the house that you got to do.
Yeah.
And kind of get ready for winter. And that's how I've seen Thanksgiving, at least as an adult, as a homeowner. That's what I kind of use that time for now at this point. And Christmas, we will travel and go see family, especially with the nephew. My youngest nephew is 6 now. So it's been more time at Christmas time since he's been born. So
I just have to press pause on you for just a second to clarify. Yes, my North and South Carolina folks, you did hear that right. Yes, we do actually get a full week off for Thanksgiving. Which is...
Oh, they don't.
No.
Yeah, they work until the Wednesday or something like that.
Yeah, well, when I was little, we only got Thursday and Friday off. And then something magical happened while I was in college. And then suddenly they started giving us the Wednesday off. So once I started teaching, I always had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. But we still had school Monday and Tuesday.
That's sure bad.
And yeah, it wasn't until...
That's a Southern thing. We've always had the full week of Thanksgiving off.
Even in Louisiana when you were little?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that was a much appreciated culture shock when I moved here, was having the full week off for Thanksgiving. So that was, the breaks here, folks, are a lot better, because we get, the kids get an unofficial fall break of that is really, a couple of teacher work days juxtaposed with a weekend. So they get usually about either 4 or 5 days off. And then we get the week at Thanksgiving, 2 weeks at Christmas. And now this year, a lot of other districts in the area had already been doing this, but now we're getting a winter break in February that's a week long.
That's different from spring break.
And and then our spring break in April.
Yeah. And it used to be that the spring breaks, so like that's new for me also, because like growing up, we didn't have that. We just had spring break, but we did have Mardi Gras, 3 days of Mardi Gras sandwiched in there somewhere between February and March.
That's right.
We had off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And I wonder if, us still being relatively close to New Orleans, I wonder if that is where the winter break sort of developed from.
No, I don't think it is.
You don't?
No, because I have friends that live in like Minneapolis and stuff like that. In Minnesota, they have winter breaks and fall breaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like I know DeSoto, my old district, they have a fall break. I think they were on it last week or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And so they have one there. It's just how the calendar's built. I think more and more school districts are going to start going that way. But there's also a lot that the schools offer for parents that have to be taken into account before they can offer a break like that. You have to think childcare. Schools are not just for educating. We do a lot more services. We feed. Everything now.
Yeah.
And so they have to take that into account. But no, they never did those breaks like that.
Yeah. Of course, now granted, I say all that, but then I don't actually get a full week off because I have rehearsals Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday of Thanksgiving week. So
that's your choice, though.
I mean, Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday.
That's your choice.
It is, but I mean, we have to be able to.
No, I'm not saying you don't have to. I'm saying as the profession that you are in, that is just one of the downfalls of it.
Well, yeah. And that's also why I was at school all day yesterday on a Saturday. So
yep,
it comes with the territory, but I love what I do. So
yep, Tarzan's going to be good.
Yep. And we have such cute baby Tarzans. It's going to be awesome.
We hope it's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
So let's go back to Thanksgiving, because we kind of steered away from Thanksgiving for a while there and went to Christmas and kind of went to traditions and stuff. But what are some of so we did talk about some foods, right? But let's kind of go through and like, so I want to tell like my grandmother, there are some New Orleans things that are very traditional at Thanksgiving that are not, I guess, nationwide Thanksgiving type foods.
Right.
You know, so cold season, you know, gumbo really starts coming out.
Yeah.
And so that is one of the Thanksgiving staples in New Orleans homes is a pot of gumbo.
Okay.
And usually it's seafood at this time. But chicken and sausage obviously can also be that. But so gumbo, especially at this time of the year, we kind of start waiting for that cold weather to hit to start getting that gumbo going. So that's one of the things my grandmother always used to have. Another thing she used to always have was these little hors d'oeuvre type things, the oyster patties.
Oyster patties?
I never made those for you. So the bakeries in New Orleans would make like this little kind of flaky crust almost.
Like phyllo dough?
Kind of, but it wasn't like that. It was a little bit thicker. And it wasn't as flaky, but it was definitely kind of...
Because I don't like phyllo dough, but I might like
it.
It
wasn't like bread.
Yeah.
You know? And so it was just like a little patty shell, they call them. It's a little circular shell with a little indentation in the middle of it.
Okay.
And you put stuffing in that. You fill that and then you bake it like that. So there would be, take some raw oysters, some oyster juice, some garlic, some breadcrumbs to it. You add all that to it and then you put that in there and you cook it in the oven and it is so good.
Oh God.
I'm telling you, you wouldn't even know they're oysters because you chop them up so fine.
Okay.
That you don't even know. If I just made them and told you this,
so it's not like a whole oyster.
No.
With.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if this is like a stuffing patty shell.
Okay.
You would eat it. You would not need like, oh my God. And then I would never tell you it was oysters. But yeah. So.
Okay. No, I'd be willing to try that.
Yeah. No, you don't taste the texture either. So if it's a texture thing for oysters.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
You have the breadcrumbs in there. They're all chopped up. I mean, they are pureed almost.
Okay.
You know, to the point where you got to use a spoon to get it in there.
Yeah.
So those are good. And so we'll go, and again, I've never seen the patty shells anywhere else but New Orleans.
Right.
And so we usually go home. If we go home, we'll grab a pack, 2 packs, and freeze them for times like that. But I may have to do that. I have mom send me some patty shells from Mackenzie's.
Yeah.
Or from not Mackenzie's. From Haydell's. And because we have oysters in the freezer that we can use and make it.
Well, yeah, you won't get me to eat them any other way. That's for sure.
Char grilled?
What?
Char grilled oysters?
No.
Or char broiled oysters?
If it's still got that texture to it.
It doesn't. This one's swimming in butter and Parmesan cheese.
Do you have to swallow it whole?
I would, yes.
Then no.
Anyway, but the oyster patties, I'll have mom send some, so we'll make some up for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But those are really good. So gumbo, the oyster patties, we'd always have some kind of like praline thing. You know.
Praline for the rest of the world.
Anyway, and just traditional like foods, you know, like yams. She'd always make yams. My cousin makes my grandmother's melon recipe. She's a melon casserole.
Melon?
Or melon dressing. Yeah.
What is melon?
It's almost like a gourd.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's spelled Mirliton or something like that. I'll have to find it, but it's melon. We call it melon dressing. It is delicious.
Huh. I thought it had something to do with like melatonin or something.
No.
So it doesn't put you to sleep then.
No.
I mean, maybe along with the carb coma, but
yeah, no. I'll have to find. My cousin has my grandmother's recipe. I'll have to find that recipe because that's really good too. It is delicious. And you know, so in the South, we always joke, but it's true. It's one of those things like, what are you going to have with your rice for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
You know? And so there was always rice. And we would always have something like I said, we'd have the rice dressing.
Yeah.
Coming from my dad's side of the family.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure this rice dressing
different things out. I'll have to call Aunt Jean and get a recipe for you.
Because I don't know if it was just because of me or what, but we never really had rice for Thanksgiving when I was little, but I didn't eat rice for a long time until I was probably in my early teens is when I probably finally started eating rice, and I've clearly never stopped. But
we laugh at lunch at school at that. Like we're eating for lunch. They're like, what do you have with your rice today for lunch? I'm like, everything. I mean, there's not one meal that we don't cook that has no rice in it.
Yeah.
You know, you think about red beans and
rice.
Jambalaya is nothing but flavored.
And
you know,
meat.
Gumbo and
rice.
So a lot of everything that we eat has rice in it. It's a very big staple. But that's coming back to plantation days. You know, like that was our staple crop back then in the days.
Yeah.
So
Well, in South Carolina it was too, and so like I said, I have a feeling that the lack of rice at our Thanksgiving table at home was probably just because of me. Shrimp and
Melliton.
It's spelled Mirliton. Mirliton. Yeah.
But that's, I mean...
But that's
I mean, okay, so first of all, look what's behind it. Turkey and cranberries.
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is the only thing you can really see in that is breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
So
it's like a squash or something?
Yeah, I think so. This is Rouse's recipe, so let me see if I can get this from them and see what's in it. We may have to come back, but this is so this is 4 millitons halved and seeded. So like onion, celery, bell pepper, garlic, rosemary, sage, thyme, Gulf shrimp, crab meat.
I love they specify Gulf shrimp.
With a capital G. With a capital G. Day-old French bread.
Yeah.
Chicken stock, Creole seasoned hot sauce, and salt and pepper. So that's really what it is.
Okay.
And you rub the melitons with olive oil, cut them in half, and then you have to kind of cook them first to get them soft, And then,
Okay.
You kind of put everything together, spoon that stuff into that meliton, and it is done in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like I said, when I was growing up, most of the time when we ate dressing, it was at home. It just me, my dad, and my mom. It was usually just stovetop dressing.
Ain't nothing wrong with some stovetop either.
Oh no, I love it. I've got some in the cabinet right now. But
that's what they look like right there.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen those. I just never knew what they were.
Yeah, they're part of the gourd family.
Okay. Cool. But no, we would just do something like that again because it was just the three of us usually. I vaguely remember Mom making real dressing a couple of times in my later teens, but my Aunt Vicky is the one who makes the dressing that I adopted. I am game for that. That and the rice dressing. I want the rice dressing too.
Well, I looked up rice dressing also, and it looks like it's just dirty rice.
Oh.
But they call it rice dressing.
Okay.
It's called... Yeah, look, see, it's called rice dressing. When you look at pictures of it, though... Well,
I mean, just because it looks the same, it might... I mean, I love dirty rice. I'm not going to say no to that either, but... Yeah, that looks just like dirty rice. But see, that's one thing totally off topic, but that's one thing that I've always found interesting, after I met you... I later moved to the beach in South Carolina, and a lot of the low country dishes are very similar to the Cajun dishes that you like. They have, they do a chicken bog and a perlo, which are very akin to jambalaya and gumbo. God, I couldn't think of the word. So,
well, I think it's a regional thing. It's what you have available to you, and they all have their own take on it, but they just call it something different.
Well, I was going to say, you could also consider the fact that they have the coastal element in common. Mm-hmm. And I think that has to do, especially with the rice, because again, in South Carolina, the Low Country was rice was a very common staple for farms, and still is, I believe. So again, that's just what was available. But yeah, turkey dressing, the cranberry salad now, pineapple casserole, what we call brown rice, and the one thing that is kind of unique just to me and my cousin Emily, deviled eggs.
Oh yeah.
When I was little, I thought they were disgusting, but
now as we're older, the only time we think they're disgusting is when they come back out.
yeah.
In the gaseous form.
But yeah, Emily and I are the only ones that really like them. My Uncle Dennis will eat like one maybe, but we love those things and we will fight over the last one.
Thomas loves them too. I remember one time Albertsons had like a tray of them or something like that we pick up, and he ate the whole thing himself. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to smell in here so bad.
I don't know. I've never had store-bought deviled eggs.
They don't know the difference.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you know there's a restaurant that actually specializes in deviled eggs?
No.
Yeah, so there's one in Dallas I know that actually you can go in there and order, like they have all different types of deviled eggs.
Oh wow.
And you just go in there and order like 6 of them, and that's your meal.
Did you hear that, Emily? I'm hearing road trip.
let me find out this place. So I'm gonna hold on. Let me find out. Just keep on talking while I look it up.
Yeah. So that was and I'll say a lot of these are not Thanksgiving specific. They're just holiday specific. Any holiday is these are the sorts of things that we want. Really, it's only the turkey that's unique to Thanksgiving. But then, we'll have turkey any night of the week, really, but just not in the full on fare. Oh my gosh, it's called Deviled Egg Company or Deviled Egg Co.
Company,
this looks great.
So there's one in McKinney, one in Denison, both in Texas, and one in the Volt, Texas. But they specialize in
deviled eggs.
Here's like deviled egg with salmon on top. They just have different flavors of deviled ham.
Yeah,
or deviled ham, deviled eggs.
You keep saying deviled
chicken
ham.
Caesar salad, deviled egg.
Oh, that looks really good.
It's grilled chicken, creamy dressing, romaine lettuce, parmesan, and croutons inside your egg.
Oh, wow.
We need to find this place and go.
Uh-huh.
Let me see if I can get it. Oh, yeah, look. Sriracha bacon deviled eggs. Walking taco deviled eggs.
Huh. Do they have
Backyard
recipes
barbecue?
online?
No. Chicken in a pickle deviled eggs. Chicken bacon ranch. Everything bagel. Crab rangoon.
Ooh.
Buffalo chicken. Buffalo blue cheese.
Buffalo chicken would be good. Buffalo blue cheese. Ooh, yeah.
Miracles Happen develed eggs.
Miracles
Jalapeno
Happen.
popper ballpark special. So I'm assuming it's kind of like a hot doggy.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger. Gyro.
Euro.
Or hero. Let's see what Miracles Happened is. So it's like a 6-pack is $13. Oh, it's Miracle Whip.
Oh.
That's why it's Miracles Happen. It's Miracle Whip.
That's weird.
Give me some blue plate mayonnaise.
Oh,
any day.
Dukes for me.
But again, regional.
Yeah. But now that's the one thing, and now for years I had nothing but Dukes. Like, I'd never tried any other mayonnaise. I didn't know mayonnaise had different flavors for that matter because we just always got Dukes. But no, I appreciate Miracle Whip sometimes. Like, I like it on occasion.
No, like Blue Plate is my go-to just because it was founded in New Orleans in 1927. That's what we've always had.
Yeah. These days I usually just buy whatever's cheapest.
Not me. There are some things I have to stick true to. You will not find a Hellman's or Miracle Whip in my fridge.
Yeah.
So that's Thanksgiving, though. Yeah.
Those are our traditions, at least, and then the origins of it.
Well, so, we've discussed some of our traditions. So we invite you, our listeners, to share with us some of your traditions.
Yeah. Comment
what are some
on
of your traditions from family? Some of the food, share recipes, tell us why Thanksgiving and what it means to you and stuff like that. Like, that's a good...
Yeah, we're going to post on Instagram 2 of our recipes, one from me and one from Michael.
Yep, you guys are going to get some Melaton dressing recipe.
And I think mine's going to be... I still don't know. I might do cranberry salad or I might do pineapple casserole.
But I should do both because they're both kind of small and simple.
That's true. But yeah, we would love to see in the comments some of your family recipes that you are most excited about today on Thanksgiving.
And I will say also, let us know what you are thankful for. That's another thing that you can we can...
Absolutely.
Ask our viewers for is, what are you thankful for? We are thankful for, first of all, each other.
Yep.
We have a friendship that has spanned almost 20 years now.
Yep.
It'll be 19 years this year.
No, it'll be 20 in February.
Okay, well, so 19 years this year.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So, and with the addition of
what?
Thomas.
Oh my God, that was the biggest eye roll.
With the addition of Thomas, he is, I don't know. So a lot of that, like I say, a lot of things where I'm thankful for him for sure.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for his family, Glenn, and his mom who passed away in July.
Yeah. I'm
thankful for my family. I have a great support system. My sisters, my aunt, my mom.
Yeah.
And so, I'm thankful for my career. I love what I do. It keeps me, I told the kids last week, they were like, how old are you? And I'm like, 44. And they're like, oh, you look like you're 50. Oh. And I said, no. They said, no, you look like you're 37, 38. And I said, well, that's because I'm around you guys all day long. Being around teenagers
keeps you young.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. And so I'm thankful for them. They are some of the funniest humans on this planet.
Yeah.
And I get to spend my days with them. And it's a great career. When people say, do you like what you do? It's tough. It's difficult, but we get to spend some great times with some of these kids that are just funny and they remind you sometimes that the stuff that you get bogged down in as an adult is not worth it.
And one of the things that that I'm most grateful for about that with working with teenagers is that youthful optimism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't have the full, you know, they know the realities of the world, and they know, you know, all the bad things and things like that, but they still have that optimism that so often gets lost with age, and they truly help me to maintain that optimism too. So I really am grateful and thankful for that.
Yep.
All the other things that I'm grateful for are pretty much the same things that you said. Yeah, I'm grateful for you and Thomas, I guess.
It is what it is.
For my family, for my job, I've talked several times on here how much I enjoy teaching theater, and I couldn't do it with a better group of kids and with a better group of professionals. Mm-hmm. So I'm very thankful for Kinsey and for Hannah and for
Daniel.
Yeah, for Daniel.
By default.
Yeah, absolutely. He is quickly becoming our glue. So, but it's just, I have a lot to be thankful for. And I think I speak on behalf of both of us when I say we are also thankful for all of you, for taking time out of your week to listen to a couple of goofy guys who just had a harebrained idea to
start talking.
Yeah.
Having a conversation and recording it.
Yeah. So I would be remiss if I didn't say how thankful I am for the one person who is probably the closest to me in my life. And that is my best friend, Charlotte Carroll, who is always there and always by my side through thick and thin. So her,
just not physically.
Yeah, just not physically. She still lives in Charlotte. Well, no, actually, she lives in Fort Mill now. But that's the thing. That's what's great about us is, well, and it's just like you and I as well. Mm-hmm. You know, even when we've lived far apart, you know, we're still just as close as ever. Mm-hmm. And we can even go, you know, weeks at a time without talking to each other. And it's always just like.
Well, we usually don't, though. Even when we lived apart, we usually didn't.
That's true. Apart. That's true. Charlotte and I, though, we you know, we can go weeks at a time, and, you know, we just because we get busy and things like that, and so we don't get to talk that much. But
I used to call you early in the morning time when I was going
Lord,
to work.
Yes, you well, no, that was your dog park time,
right? Yeah.
And I was driving to work, and so it worked out, and so we would have 20-minute conversations there.
Yeah, almost every morning.
Yeah, leave us some comments on the episode on your favorite podcast platform about what you're thankful for and some of those recipes.
Okay. So,
all right. So
now, let's segue to trivia. Now, this week we have something different.
Yeah.
Picked up a game today called Trivial Pursuit Drop Trivia. Okay, and so what this is it is, I'll just read the box to you. It says you have all the answers, just drop them in order. And so what is this game is it has a card that has the colors of Trivial Pursuit, and it's got like this tower that has like a Connect 4 kind of outline on it that has 6 spots for tokens to go into.
Just one row. Yeah.
One
column, I guess.
And so what we have to do is figure out the correct order of something. So it's got a topic on top with all of the different answers that are kind of mixed up. And so we have to put these things in order, and it gives us a time frame. So I picked out a couple of cards.
And these, I think are we gonna do them kind of together?
Yeah.
So we're not in opposition. We're kind of working together.
So the very first one is going to be number of calories.
Okay. So
this thing has different types of foods. So, and it's number of calories on average per 3.5 ounces.
3.5 ounces.
So the size of your palm, basically.
Oh, yeah.
This is a 4-ounce size on your palm. And so these are the options, and this is in the order that's what they're read in the card. So this is not the answer. They want us to go ahead and rank the fewest at the bottom and the most at the top. And so potato, soy sauce, avocado, cucumber, butter, and bacon.
Oof. Okay.
The number of calories.
All right.
So we're going to turn this little machine on here.
Put the card in top so I can see it.
Well, I've got to get the machine on first, though.
You can put the card in. Yeah, I just want to.
Welcome to Drop Trivia.
Okay.
Let's play. Round 1. Enter the card code.
Okay, so we're going to enter the card code by just dropping these little tokens in.
Yeah.
Because
we are not sponsored by Trivial Pursuit, though we would love to be.
No, this is a really cool game.
Yellow,
yeah.
Blue, green, pink. Release the pucks. Then then press the start button.
Okay, so we put the little tokens in that represent the little pies from Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
They look like the game pieces,
Right.
Your little pie that you would
These look like little different colored oranges, slices of orange to me.
Yeah.
They always did. But
Yeah.
So now that we have the machine loaded, so we're going to go ahead and again, we're looking at number of calories from most to fewest. Fewest on the bottom
Then press the
and
start
the
button.
most on the top. And so, are you ready? It's going to give us 60 seconds to go first.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and go.
Team 1, press the start button to begin your turn. Team 1, you have 60 seconds.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. So I think
Avocado.
I think cucumbers fewest.
Okay, green.
Yeah. Avocado is like one of the fatteningest things.
Soy sauce
Or
or butter.
Soy sauce. Soy sauce before butter. Then maybe avocado.
Okay.
Then
Although calorie-wise, bacon wouldn't have a lot of calories, would it?
no, it would have a lot, I'm sure.
Potato, I think, has the most.
The most. That's what I'm thinking. What do we have next? What's left?
Potato,
Potato,
bacon,
butter, and bacon.
butter.
I would say butter, potato, bacon. No, I mean, sorry. Butter,
butter,
bacon, potato.
bacon, potato. Okay. All right, so let's see it.
Starting
Okay.
from the top.
Oh.
So bacon and butter.
Then
No.
press the start button.
Cucumber and what is that? Orange soy sauce.
Cucumber and soy sauce were right.
And so was bacon.
Bacon is the second,
Release the
but
puck.
not the
Then
most.
press the
Okay.
start button.
Ugh, Lord. Oh, well, yeah, I guess if we're looking at I guess butter would be at the top.
Oh,
So now we get,
Release the puck.
45
Then
seconds
press
now.
the
Yeah.
start button. Team 2,
Okay.
okay,
press
what
the
did we
start
say
button to
was?
begin your
It
turn.
was
it was cucumber, then avocado. Or no. We said cucumber, then what?
Team
Oh,
2,
crap.
you
Soy
have
sauce?
Soy
45
sauce.
seconds. 3, 2,
Okay.
1,
So
go.
cucumber, soy sauce, then,
butter's last, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Cucumber,
I think avocado.
avocado next.
And that leaves potato and bacon.
I would say
Bacon,
bacon,
potato.
then potato, and then
butter.
Butter.
Let's see how you did. Starting from the top.
Ah, I bet we got those two backwards. Oh. Okay, so we got
So we got
avocado.
avocado, potato, and bacon are wrong.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize I knew avocados were like the most calorie heavy of the fruits or
All
whatever.
right, we have
the-
30 seconds now. So
Press
look,
the start button to
and our last opportunity.
yes. So we said cucumber and
Yeah, let's
then
get them in order first.
soy.
Cucumber, soy.
and potato. No, what was last?
Hold on, don't get them in your hand. Line
No,
them
I'm
up,
gonna put
line
them.
up.
I'm gonna put them.
1. Press the
These
start
two were going in
button to begin
first.
your turn.
Yes.
But which one was the
Cucumber,
last?
soy. Before we did cucumber,
Butter was last.
soy, avocado,
Team 1.
bacon,
No, we did
potato.
avocado,
Begin your turn.
avocado, bacon, then potato.
Yeah. And okay. So then do we want to switch these two? Do we still think potatoes more than well think about if it's a
Team 1.
palm
Press the start button
size
to begin your turn.
I don't know.
I think that potato would be here.
But then avocado's got to move too.
Team 1. Press the start button
So
to begin
bacon,
your
potato,
turn.
avocado.
Yeah, because bacon's all meat. It's not really.
You don't think that? Well, maybe not. Okay.
No. Let's just try
Okay,
it.
let's do it. Only one way to find out.
You have 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see how you did. Starting from the top.
Butter.
Butter. Ah! Oh, crap. Oh, we still had all three of those wrong. I guess
Okay.
we'll never know.
We will, because the answer's right here.
Team 1.
Oh, are they? Oh.
Round 1.
Um,
Release the pucks, then press the start button.
So what was it? How do we turn this off?
there's an on-off switch back
Oh,
here.
okay. Turn it off so it doesn't make noise while you're reading the thing.
Okay, so the top was.
Blue, what was blue? Butter was butter,
We got that one right.
followed by bacon,
Then
then avocado,
Then potato.
then potato,
Then soy sauce.
and then cucumber.
Okay. So, do you want to try a different one?
Yeah, let's do one more. Soft drinks, but it's date, not by...
Oh, by date and vent it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we could get that.
I don't know.
Okay, so our options are Pepsi, founded in the Carolinas, San Pellegrino, Coca-Cola, Red Bull, Schweppes, and Fanta. Okay, I know Red Bull, I think, is the newest.
Put this in.
Oh,
Really? I think Fanta would be the earliest.
the earliest?
The most recent?
No, Red Bull. Think about it. Red Bull came out when we were like in high school.
And I don't remember having Fanta.
No, we had Fanta's much older.
I didn't drink soft drinks. Every soft drink that we had growing up, another thing from the South is we call our soft drinks Coke. Hey, you want a Coke? Yeah, what kind of Coke? I want a Sprite.
See, I've never...
That was ours.
We always just called it whatever it was.
Nope. Ours was always like Coke.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so I think Red Bull is the newest.
You can't... we can't...
We did it the last time.
No, come on. We need 60 seconds.
Okay, we'll go.
You have 60 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
You put them in this time. Okay,
Okay, so I
you
think Red Bull
which
is the
green.
newest.
Okay.
Followed by, I don't know.
Fanta?
I'll do Fanta next. Is that the right color? No.
No, Fanta's purple.
And then
I think Coke and Pepsi are going to be the last two.
I think so. San Pellegrino. I feel like Schweppes is older,
Okay.
but I mean, I don't know. I did the wrong thing.
No, orange was San Pellegrino.
Oh yeah, I did. Sorry. Okay, so then Schweppes.
Now we're down with Pepsi or Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola's oldest.
Okay.
Pepsi.
I think this is a trick question. I really think that
Probably.
Schweppes or San Pellegrino are going to be older.
Oh, yep. They're international.
Okay.
Okay, so we got the newest three.
Red Bull, Fanta,
Red Bull, Fanta,
and San Pellegrino.
And San Pellegrino. Okay, so then...
I bet you Schweppes is probably older.
Oh,
or they're
it
sandwiched
might
between Pepsi and... Or is Pepsi older than Coke?
No, I'm pretty sure Coke was invented before Pepsi.
Green, purple, and orange. Okay. So green, purple, and orange are...
All right.
There you go. Okay, so
Team 2.
let me get green, purple, and orange in there.
Team 2, you have 45 seconds.
Okay, so
2, 1, go.
Red Bull, Fanta, San Pellegrino, and then we're going with...
No, we did before blue, pink, and yellow. So that's not the order.
Okay, yeah, no. So
Pepsi?
Pepsi, yeah. So Pepsi, and then Schweppes or Coke.
That's you.
Let's do Schweppes as the oldest.
Okay.
Coke and Schweppes.
Let's see how you did. Starting from the top.
Oh, that's it. That's it. We got it.
Yay.
Round 1. Release the pucks, then press the start button.
Okay, turn it off.
Anyway, so again, we are not sponsored by Trivial Pursuit. However, as stated, if you would like to sponsor us, Trivial Pursuit, we will gladly take your sponsorship. But, so this is a new game, and we'll play this some more.
Yeah, that was a fun
one. May
one.
go to school with me. I don't know. The kids would like this a lot.
Yeah,
I can see them fighting over it.
It's kinesthetic too,
Yep.
so it's tactile.
Yep.
All right, well that does it for this week's episode From Art to Atoms.
The Ultimate Curiosity Show. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving today, celebrating in any way that you choose to.
With whatever foods you choose to.
And remember that family is who you make it, not who you're born into.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye. You've been listening to From Art to Atoms, The Ultimate Curiosity Show, episode number 14. Your hosts are Brandon Shoemaker and myself, Michael Fultz. The show is produced by Brandon Shoemaker and is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show to stay up to date on all of our latest episodes and news. If you have any suggestions, feedback, or suggested topics you'd like for us to dive into, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can email us at FromArtToAtoms@gmail.com. We would love to hear from our listeners, and we value your input. Don't forget to follow us on social media and stay updated on upcoming episodes and behind-the-scenes content. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube at From Art to Atoms. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to rate and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps us reach even more interested minds like yours. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, stay curious.